If we are one, how do we remain vigilant, centered, and vibrationally high, even while we brace for the ongoing onslaught of negativity and darkness? In our last episode, we deviated from our normal topics and tone and acknowledged that we are now at a pivotal point in our existential transition from the darkness into the light of a better and more spiritually vibrant new world. I spoke truth to power about the recent events in Minneapolis, the killings of Renee Good and Alex Preddy, and the worldwide struggles elsewhere that have been shaping how we respond and move forward through this tumultuous journey. I also provided a spiritual rallying cry for the soul: hold the light, proclaiming that we all must do our part in maintaining a higher spiritual vibration in spite of the low vibrational dark energies that are doing their best to maintain one last foothold on this planet. We even provided a Light Holders Manifesto to invoke a call to action and centering of intention as we push forward towards the light of a brand new day. But if we are one, how do we go about keeping that light on, steady, centered, beaming and outflowing when things around us seem to be crashing down? How do we practice our divine gifts of manifestation to invoke the certainty of a wonderful new world, void of negativity and strife? How do we fulfill our mission, which is why so many of us have incarnated into this timeline in the first place? Hi, I'm Daryl T. Johnson, a musician, a teacher, and a QHHT hypnosis practitioner. I'd like to welcome all of you to episode 18 of If We Are One. Hello everyone, and thanks for being here. These last few weeks and months have been intense. So first, let us all just take a deep breath together. In and out. And in and out. Good. I know things feel heavy right now. Every headline, every image, every careless word spoken in public, or insidious, vulgar, and insensitive social media postings showing blatant racism all seem to echo with anger, outrage, and sadness. Maybe you felt yourself wanting to turn away, or maybe you found it hard not to get pulled into the vortex, into the noise. I understand this. I felt it too. It is for this very reason that I wanted to talk about something we all need to remind ourselves of occasionally: how to keep our spiritual balance when the world around us seems to lose its own. This isn't about ignoring pain or pretending everything is fine. It's about finding the calm within the storm, the steady rhythm of peace that lives right inside our chest, our heart. That calm doesn't disappear when life gets loud. It just waits for us to return to it again. So, the first thing I think we should do is simply acknowledge what's happening. It hurts to watch cruelty, injustice, bigotry, inhumanity, and division play out right in front of us. It hurts to see people spoken about or treated as less than human. The spirit naturally wants to flinch away from that pain, but pretending not to feel doesn't make it go away. If anything, healing begins the moment we stop fighting our feelings. So let's not rush past what's true. Let yourself feel sad or angry or disappointed, whatever comes up. Just breathe through it and know that you're strong enough to hold those feelings without being consumed by them. These feelings are valid and are natural mechanisms to move us from emotional and spiritual imbalance back into balance. As I had referenced before in earlier episodes, many of these feelings are physiological functions designed to move us back into balance. As in the case of anger, it should last no longer than about 20 to 30 seconds inside of our bodies. If it does last longer, it ceases to be anger and quickly becomes judgment. So be mindful of this. When you can look at the darkness and still say, I am still standing and I still choose light, that's when transformation actually begins. What helps is learning the art of what might be called emotional alchemy, turning heavy energy into something clearer and lighter. At its core, it treats emotions like anger, fear, guilt, shame, anxiety as meaningful messages rather than problems to suppress or ignore. By carefully feeling, examining, and working with these emotions, you convert their raw energy into something more valuable, such as clearer boundaries, self-knowledge, courage, or compassion. Many writers compare it to turning emotional lead into inner gold, emphasizing that the goal is not to get rid of feelings, but to understand and channel them in a constructive way. Feel what you feel, name it honestly, and then channel it somewhere safe. Cry if you need to, write, pray, walk, sing, dance, forest bathe. Let the body help write the emotions out of your system. When you finally exhale and whisper to yourself, I let this go so I can shine clearer, you're not denying what happened. You're choosing to release its hold on you. That's real strength. That's real power. The power to not be controlled by events, people, or circumstances around you. Once you've made that space inside, grounding becomes essential. The world is noisy, and we can lose ourselves in the chaos if we're not anchored to something steady. Breathing is one of the simplest ways to find your center again. Just close your eyes and inhale light and exhale whatever heaviness remains. Step outdoors if you can. The earth is a quiet healer. Stand barefoot in the grass, grounding yourself into Mother Gaia. Silence, too, is medicine. Just a few minutes without screens or sound recalibrates your inner pace. Silence gives your nervous system and mind a chance to reset, which can make stress and anxiety easier to handle. Quiet time shifts the body from fight or flight into a more relaxed rest and digest state, lowering heart rate, blood pressure, and muscle tension. Periods of silence are linked to lower cortisol, the main stress hormone, which can ease physical symptoms like headaches, fatigue, and tightness in the body. Without constant noise and input, The brain can rest from processing emails, conversation, and notifications, reducing mental fatigue and feeling wired and tired. And if all else fails, serve someone, outflow your energy, do something kind. Nothing uplifts vibration faster than giving. The tree doesn't panic when the wind howls. It simply digs its roots deeper. And let's talk more about what it really means to hold the light. It doesn't mean floating above life's pain or pretending not to notice the dark. It's about standing right in the middle of it and refusing to let it define you. Real spiritual power isn't distance, it's clarity. It's the decision to respond with love when outrage would be easier. To extend compassion even when fear tempts you to close off. When we do that, we become calm points in the larger field, like small lamps in a city blackout, quietly guiding others home. Hope, my people, isn't a sign of weakness or denial. It's a declaration of courage. To hope is to say, I still believe love is stronger than fear. Keep that vision alive. The world you want to see, the justice you long for, the kindness you know is possible. Let that vision shape your everyday choices, how you speak, what you post, how you listen, who you forgive. No, we can't control what others do, but we absolutely shape the energy we bring into every space we enter. And when enough of us live in that higher vibration, the world begins to shift. When we begin to quiet the storm within ourselves, something extraordinary starts to happen. We begin to feel the truth of our connection with everything. The trees, the sky, the stranger passing by, even those who challenge us, all are part of the same whole. Living from a consciousness of oneness means remembering that we are not separate islands struggling to survive, but waves of one vast ocean, discovering ourselves through different shapes and movements. You've heard me say this phrase over and over again. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. But when that moves from the idea to a lived understanding, everything changes, everything softens, everything connects. Challenges become teachers. Differences become mirrors. Pain becomes an invitation to compassion. You realize that everyone, even those lost in anger or fear, is just another expression of the same divine life force, seeking to remember its own light. Living in unity consciousness doesn't mean erasing individuality. It means recognizing that every individual expression is the divine exploring itself through form. You are a unique articulation of the one, a specific melody within the same great symphony. Another soul may play a different note, but both belong to the same music. The only real difference between one soul and another is the degree of remembering. How clearly each one hears that melody and knows where it comes from. From this awareness, perspective shifts effortlessly. You start to look at others not as opponents or strangers, but as extensions of yourself in different disguises. You realize that kindness offered to another is healing granted to yourself. Judgment feels heavier. Compassion feels like home. You begin to live guided by the quiet truth that what I do to you, I do to me. So how do we live from that place in practical ways? It can start as simply as pausing before reacting. When you want to lash out, remember the same consciousness breathing through you is breathing through them. When you look into another person's eyes, linger long enough to notice the spark behind them. That's spirit recognizing spirit. And when you serve, forgive, or uplift, you amplify that field of oneness in the world. The shift into unity consciousness isn't some far-off spiritual event. It's unfolding right now, in real time, through our daily choices. Every act of empathy, every breath of awareness, every moment we choose love over fear helps humanity remember itself. This is the Great Awakening, the collective journey of billions of individuated expressions rediscovering the truth that there is and has only ever been one. So as you move through your day, try whispering to yourself, I remember. Say it when you're tired, when you're frustrated, when you feel alone. I remember. Let those words bring you back to the knowing that you are not separate, not forgotten, and never without love. Because in truth, you are the one remembering itself. And that remembering changes everything. So let's end with one deep, steady breath together. Inhale, peace. And exhale, tension. Feel the calm inside you spreading softly outward, filling your home, your community, and even touching those who've forgotten their own light. Not to rescue them, but simply to remind them. They too carry the spark of the divine. The storm is not the truth. The calm within you is. That calm is your anchor, your compass, your quiet revolution. Thank you for sharing this moment with me. Keep breathing, keep believing, and keep returning to that calm within the storm. Because from there, anything is possible. Remember that you are the I am. You are that unique individuated spark of the one. And as you realize this within yourself, also realize that within others. We'll be talking more about these and other topics in future installments. And if there is anything you would like me to discuss, or any questions you might have about anything I've shared, please feel free to mention it by leaving a question or a comment in the comments section. As always, if you have found any of this information at all helpful or enlightening, please like, subscribe, and share with others. I appreciate those of you who are letting others know about this. I'm seeing more and more people come to this site, and I'm very excited about that. And I'm also excited to see more and more souls awakening to this ongoing movement to a oneness consciousness. So in parting, I send you my love. And if we are one, let's all hold the light, don't forget that, while we are living in peace, love, and joy.